We have some very exciting news from Six Flags Great Adventure regarding El Toro, which is of course the park's gigantic, award-winning airtime machine of a wooden roller coaster. As I'm sure many of you know, El Toro has gotten rougher over the past several years, and many people simply can't enjoy the attraction the way they used to. Upon opening in 2006, El Toro was glass smooth, and in a way it needs to maintain a certain level of smoothness, being it's more forceful than an average wood coaster, as any slight bump or imperfection in the track work is much more amplified than the equivalent imperfection would be on a regular wood coaster. And this is what leads into the exciting news, and that is starting in 2026, El Toro will be undergoing a multi-year retracking project by the ride's manufacturer Intamin. This will make the ride dramatically smoother and means El Toro is here to stick around for many more years to come, as without question, this will be an expensive investment. Now before I dig into the details of the future retracking, Great Adventure currently plans to open El Toro alongside the park for the 2025 season on March 29th, which is of course the park's opening day. During the current off-season, the park's carpenters have rebuilt 20 of the ride's track rails in-house. Here's some shots of the work to create the prefabricated track rails, and here's a shot of a nearly completed rail which will be remounted to the ride in time for opening day. Then during the next off-season between the 2025 and 2026 seasons, Intamin will deliver 82 brand new track rails which the ride will reopen with in 2026. Just for perspective, according to El Toro's original fact sheet released in 2006, the ride has a total of 360 track rails with 180 left rails and 180 right rails. With 82 out of 360 pieces being replaced, that's nearly 23% of the ride's track. And this is just the first of a minimum two-phase retracking project with Intamin. For the 2027 season, El Toro will receive another round of retracking from Intamin, and the park is even in talks with Intamin to do a third round of retracking for the 2028 season. Through these three phases, El Toro will see over 240 new track pieces, which is 2/3 of all of the ride's track. I'd assume these new track pieces will be placed along the main layout of the ride and not during the station or brake runs or lift hill. El Toro is of course a prefabricated wooden roller coaster, meaning nearly every single piece of the ride's track and structure were CNC machine cut to the exact shape and size required by the ride's design. The track and structural pieces then arrive at the job site ready for assembly, meaning the ride is assembled with nearly perfect precision. This greatly differs from typical wooden roller coasters where raw lumber is delivered to the job site for skilled carpenters to manually cut and shape the structure and track, which naturally leads to a less precise build. And due to the use of laminated veneer lumber to construct El Toro's track, which is an engineered wood type, along with the way the wood pieces of each track rail are oriented and glued together, it means each track rail is considerably stronger than the traditional track stack used on normal wood coasters. So it's these prefabricated track rails that will be delivered by Intamin for El Toro's multi-year retracking project. Now Intamin won't be the firm manufacturing the track rails, and that work should be done by the German firm Zublin Timber, who made El Toro's original track rails back in 2005. More recently, Zublin Timber manufactured the new track rails for Colossus at Haida Park, which was entirely retracked for the 2019 season. Based on Zublin's website, El Toro's track work in 2005 cost 1.92 million euros, which was about 2.3 million US dollars based on 2005 conversion rates. The cost of Colossus's track work in 2018 was 3,080,000 euros, which was about 3,540,000 in 2019. Things are certainly much more expensive in today's times. Overall, it will certainly still be much more expensive than what Colossus's retrack cost, as Colossus is also located in Germany where the track rails were produced. But what's great about this is that Great Adventure and the Six Flags Corporation are putting such a significant investment into El Toro. Based off current events, such as King Naka's sudden removal, along with a long list of other rides, many felt El Toro's future was uncertain. But with this investment, El Toro was without question here to stay for many more years. Another potential benefit is the new rails coming to the ride starting in 2026 may be the upgraded track rails that were installed on Colossus during its retrack. The new upgrades are meant to make the rails more durable and last longer. This includes the use of wider steel plates at the tops of the rails where the road wheels of the trains run. The wider steel plates better protect the wood beneath. The steel joints that link the track rails together are also larger and feature more threaded connections. And the washers here, which are part of the bolts that secure the upstop steel to the track, are much larger to help spread the force of a tight bolt across more surface area, making it less likely the wooden rail is damaged. During airtime moments, these bolts even feature a larger rectangular washer to even better distribute forces across the track surface. So I really hope this more upgraded track design makes its way over to El Toro so that its experience remains glossy smooth for as long as possible. Now in this retrack project, I don't think we'll see as much work done to the ride as Colossus did in its project. With Colossus, all of the ledgers that support the track were replaced. The ride even received a new control system, brand new upgraded trains, and an immense amount of additional theming. Of course, it would be amazing for El Toro to receive these upgrades as well, but having a large amount of the ride's track replaced with brand new pieces will be absolutely amazing if that's all we get. This is certainly exciting news for Great Adventure, and it's great to hear about something positive coming to the park after news broke late last year that so many rides at the park would be removed all at once. From what I gather, Six Flags has major plans for Great Adventure, and I even hear that the plan is to make Great Adventure the park of the East Coast like it was during the 2000s. Apparently, some very major investments will be made at the park over the next 10 years, which could potentially see the park entirely transformed, which I think we can all agree on would be absolutely spectacular. Great Adventure sits right between two of the United States' largest cities, New York City and Philadelphia, and is located in New Jersey, which is the nation's most densely populated state. So it only makes sense to capitalize on this and turn Great Adventure into the true destination park it deserves to be. But I do hear this transformation may be performance-based and will be influenced by the park's attendance over the next few years. If you're deeply distraught over the sudden and unannounced loss of Kingda Ka like I am, I recommend you do not look to boycott the park or other Six Flags parks in general. And I'm not here to defend Six Flags corporate, who I believe deeply need a lesson in customer service, as the unannounced closures they mandated on legendary rides like Kingda Ka are inexcusable. And it's something that we should never forget, and we should hold them accountable to that. But I'm here to defend the individual parks such as Great Adventure, who didn't make the choice to close Kingda Ka and so many rides all at once. And it certainly wasn't their choice to close the rides completely unannounced. So I don't think anything malicious should be taken out on the individual parks. Then in Great Adventure's case, the better they do over the next few years, the more investments will be put into the park, which would be a win for all of us. And I do want to give Six Flags corporate the benefit of the doubt that even with all of these ride removals, they do have extraordinary plans in place that should transform Great Adventure, and hopefully many of the other legacy Six Flags parks as well, as Cedar Fair did a wonderful job transforming the former Paramount parks into the parks they are today. I hope you're just as excited for El Toro's upcoming multi-year retracking project as I am. It's a great sign that amazing things are potentially coming to Great Adventure over the next few years, and we also still have the 2026 record-breaking launch coaster, which will hopefully be something out of this world. And honestly, it better be if it's replacing Kingda Ka. It has a huge void to fill. Thanks for watching, everyone, and be sure to drop your comments below on what you think of the El Toro retrack project, as well as what you think will happen to Great Adventure and the other legacy Six Flags parks moving forward. As angry as I am at Six Flags corporate for the unannounced closure of Kingda Ka and so many other rides, I still do want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they will do amazing things going forward. Anyway, thanks again for watching, everyone. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more nerdy content just like this. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.